Okay, I just had a dream. I was hanging out with the devil. Um, and we played the Skyrim before it was a video game. He had all the board games of Skyrim. Okay, I've had this dream before. The beginning part. I was the final part of some quest. I burst into this room with an emerald tablet that I had to put. Oh yeah, oh my god, there was this wizard thing going on, and like the end of the world was happening, and I've been on this quest, and I found the emerald tablet. Not the emerald tablet, but an important emerald tablet, and I was trying to get into this room that all this wizard, like, necromancy stuff was happening in, to stop the wizard and put the holy emerald tablet inside this pendant, but that harvests like all the magic in the world. But you can only do that if you're pure light, or else you will be shredded to pieces. And so I was trying to get in the room where all the magic was happening, because I had just made it, except I might have already been too late. And someone was pushing against the door, saying, "It's too late! It's already happening! It's too late!" And there was like wind and tornadoes going on inside of the room. And I was like, "No!" And I kept having the intent of Jesus in my head. And I'd push the door, and somebody would push back. And I'd push the door. And this went on for a while until I pushed so hard that the door came off. And there were people behind me watching, but I don't know who they were. Maybe my companions on the car. And I ran into the room, and I snatched up this necklace that was like on an altar. And this necromancy mage was like putting all the evil into it. Because apparently you could harvest all the evil in the world or all the good. And I took the necklace and I took the tablet and I held them like this. And I said, I looked up and I went, if I die, this will be the best way to go. And if I live, make the next one better. And I put them together and there was this rumbling and everyone was like, nothing's happening. And I knew that something was going to happen, so I sat on the ground and I fell into lotus position. And then there was this huge explosion, and the ground under me fell out, and I fell straight down. And the mission was successful on top, but I kind of knew what was supposed to happen next, and the devil was gonna try one last time to convince me and trick me into relinquishing the power, because now I held power in the world, and he was going to try to convince me to relinquish it. And I had to resist. And I knew that there was no way for me to resist the devil, because he's smarter than I am and more clever. And so, except I remember thinking that the only reason that I successfully done this is because I made the sacrifice of my life. I was like, I'm not pure. I don't care how pure I am, because unless you're pure, you're gonna die. I was like, I don't care how pure I am. This emerald needs to go in the stone. This isn't for me. This is for the world, the energy of mankind. And so I made the sacrifice, and I did it. And so then, when I was talking to the devil, I fell into this room, and I fell deep. So it was so deep, and then into this room, and the room was like an underground apartment, and there was this. It was blue, like a royal permanent marker blue, trimmings and stuff, not the whole thing. but there was like a butler and a daughter, kind of like Death from More to Terry Pratchett. The daughter was going to bed, and the butler led me to her room, and she was all like, I ate dinner. Oh yeah, they gave me food. And I didn't want to eat food, but I decided to just be fearless. And I ate food. I blessed and ate the food. Um, Keeping in mind that scripture that said, like, you can eat the heathen sacrifice food. Fuck it, that scripture. Anyway, so I ate the food, and it was pasta with like a rosé sauce. And then the daughter, she was beautiful, and she was going to bed in this blue room. And she got on her bed, and she was like, "What'd you eat?" And I said, "It was pasta with this nice rosé sauce, but I don't know if it was a rosé or if it was just like a creamy tomato." And then the devil came out of it. It was like her room, the bathroom, and another room. You know, in a small corridor. Fuck. And the devil came out of the bathroom. He was this big, tall man. His clothes are all black and long and really elegant. I don't remember what his face looks like now, which was weird because I was staring at it a lot. And he was like, "Okay, let's begin." And I was like, wait, I'm talking to your daughter. What kind of sauce did you use? And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know. It's tomato rosé." And I was like, "Was it just tomato? Because it was creamy. I'm wondering if there was like milk." And he was like, no, there was just tomato." And I was like, "Then why was it so creamy?" And he was like, "The butler said it better than I did, and it made it creamy." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So anyway, daughter went to bed. Butler was a real old and scary looking, and like watching us. And then the devil started talking to me, and he moved like this. Except he didn't actually move like that, but his energy was sly. And he was so regal and beautiful and majestic. "Okay, so," and he was talking to me, and I thought he was asking all these questions, and I thought he's trying to trick me into saying something secret that will relinquish my power to him. Like, I thought of when Auntie was telling me that the police asked her, "Do you understand?" As in, "Do you stand under my authority?" And she kept saying, "No, I don't understand," blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I knew that I wouldn't be able to figure out any of his tricks. So I decided that I was just going to have no anger and no fear and have pure love and respond to everything this guy says with pure love and no judgment. I was talking to Satan, and I said, "I'm just gonna love you. That's it." And hold on, I have to blow my nose. Okay, pure love. And it was working. I was talking to the devil, and I was realizing that he was getting frustrated because I don't know, whatever he wanted wasn't happening. And he went, "Oh," and I had an appointment. I didn't want to stay too long because I was afraid that I was going to start losing whatever was working. And he kept saying, "I'll keep you here for an hour," or I'll keep you here for another hour," and stuff like that. And I was getting like restless, and so was he. And then eventually we went to his couch, and he just kept trying to engage me in casual conversation so that I would let my guard down. And I knew he was doing that, but I didn't judge him, and I was just like, pure love, pure love, pure love. And eventually we started talking about like his childhood and like the stuff that he likes to do, and like I didn't talk about myself. I was getting to know the devil. And I remember there was one point, and we shared a few laughs and everything, and there was one point where we were sitting on the couch, and he had this big TV on, and there was like a picture of a road on the TV, and something was traveling on the road very fast, and it was all like psychedelic looking. And I asked him, "You play Skyrim?" Oh yeah, and he also had a pet dragon. And I asked him, "You play Skyrim?" And he went, "Of course." And I was like, and he goes, "I have every single game of Skyrim." And I was like, "I didn't even know that. What do you mean?" And I was freaking out. And then he brought out this huge like shelf, and it was full of board games and like folders and stuff. And I was like, "Wait, Skyrim the board game?" And he was like, "Yeah, I had it before. It was a video game." I was like, "Oh, do you have the video game?" And he's like, "No, but I have all the board games." I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll take a look at the board game." Like I wasn't impressed, and he could tell I wasn't impressed, and I think it was pissing him off. And so I was like, "Hey, you have sketch." I was like, "Do you still draw? You have sketches? Do you still draw?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you some of that." And he pulled out a folder he'd written ages ago, and it was like all painted, like all full of painted stuff. And he pulled out this big piece of construction paper that he'd painted like weird. He had this weird style of painting with colors, but they're all dark, but they're vibrant. And he'd written on it in white, and he was writing stuff about his mother and whether or not he trusts his mother.